X-Files Unclassified. Dust bunnies.
Oscar, make sure you get under there. There's been too many dust bunnies in the dormitory.
Yes, of course, madame. It is a good thing we have these dust busters. They're very effective in small nooks and crannies.
Yes, it is a good thing.
Delilah, stop fraternizing with the hell. Come with me, we've a soiree to attend to.
It's just the dust bunnies, Lucifer. They build them.
Delilah, you're your dust bunnies. A dust bunny's not going to do anything to you, all right? It's not like it's going to reach out from under the bed and grab you under it. Come on.
Don't worry about a thing. We're going to get everything taken care of.
Quiet, and you better do it on the double, too. Delilah, come on.
Lucifer, you know I'm haunted by dust.
Delilah, please.
God. These upper-class snooty types. God.
You have to learn to ignore it.
I don't know how you put up with it, Xavier. I'm gonna go get the other room.
Okay. Battery operated and everything. Oh, come on, what is it, a jam? Huh?
Oh, somebody help me!
Been in here a week.
Collecting a little dust, eh?
A little dust, a little Chinese takeout, a little bit of light reading.
Sure. It's a guide to cleaning up.
Is that what they call it these days?
You know those guides, best mom's guide or best auntie's guide, you know, they have all those little tips for college students. How to keep your dorm room clean, how to do your laundry, how to press your shirts, all that kind of stuff. Something that this poor sap probably was reading. That's Oscar Walters.
What happened to him?
Nice film all over him, huh?
Film? What do you mean by film?
Like grainy grits, dust.
Yeah, I suppose. That's not the first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed is that he's completely and utterly mangled.
There's
but
that
yes, he is covered in film. It's funny, Culver. You always notice the details nobody else notices. And yet sometimes you miss the obvious point.
The obvious point? What's that? That this poor sap is twisted up like a pretzel?
Yes. A pretzel, a knot, a thought that just can't be unraveled. happened to him?
Well, the report is that they came into this dorm room that this fellow was cleaning up, and the place was spick and span.
That's
all that
odd.
was left was this dustbuster and him, all twisted up like this, and him covered in dust.
Clean dorm room is unusual enough, Culver.
That's true. This one cleans up well.
I take it we're hitting the road.
We probably should. I think there's something out there, but you know, this dust. There's something to it, you know?
Yeah?
Sure, haven't you ever heard of pixie dust? Magic fairy dust?
Oh, I see. This is a Culver case. I thought this would be a simple question of how did a college student get mangled. Yes, I have heard of pixie dusts. I read Peter Pan as a child.
Sure, makes you fly, right?
Among other things. Are you saying that pixies are alive on Oxford College?
I'm not saying anything.
Of course you're not.
Why don't we go find out?
Are we
Have a
flying?
little look-see. Sure.
Well, I believe in fairies.
Delilah, please sit.
I'm very distraught,
Well, you
Lucifer.
mustn't fret. It's
Madam,
not
I
going to
brought
happen.
in the tea.
Thank you.
Oxford College is a small, nice college for girls.
Yes, I'm quite well aware.
We, my family, your family now, Lucifer, has been running this for generations, and to have someone die.
Delilah, he was part of the maintenance team. What could possibly come of this? He was a legal citizen. He had his papers in order. Delilah, please, it doesn't...
Oscar
I know.
Xavier Walters has worked for our family for 60 years before I was born.
I'm dreadfully sorry, Delilah. I didn't mean it. Just have some tea, please. Great. Let's bring another one of the waitstaff in here. Have them clean it up. Have them kill themselves with a dustbuster.
Mrs. Hoover,
Yes?
there are two detectives here.
Oh, God, he was a legal citizen, wasn't he?
Yes, but you can't just expect when there's a death on the property that forces won't get
Oh,
involved.
God, it was an accident. He was sucked into the dustbuster.
It doesn't matter. When someone dies, you have to investigate it.
Fine, what a bother.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Should I tell them to go away?
No.
Send them in.
And send the... Oh, never mind, she has it. Send them in.
I will be right back.
The tea's still there.
You should really have some. It'll make you feel better.
Here they are.
Detectives?
Special Agent, Kid Culver, FBI.
My.
Alaina Bailey. We're so sorry to intrude on this unhappy occasion.
Forgive me for asking, but what brings the FBI to a particular jurisdiction? It seems like a bit of an overreach.
The FBI will determine that.
Forgive my husband. He's rather rude at times. I am Delilah Hoover, and this is my husband, Lucifer Hoover, and we run the Oxford College for well-behaved girls.
This is an unusual college. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it.
We try to give them a sense of home.
Well, it is certainly clean and full of light and joy, except for the dead.
But as I said, our local police department in Cleveland, Ohio, where the Oxford School for Girls is
Where we are
located,
right now.
as you know, has looked into this matter. It was determined by the local facilities to be but an accident. I still don't understand why the Federal Bureau of Investigation needs to get themselves involved.
Can I clarify something? The room that we're in right now is in fact the scene of the crime?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a dormitory. It's a lovely dormitory.
Yes.
Yes, the rooms are adjacent. This is, of course, the common area.
Ah, I see.
The building is referred to as the dormitory.
Yes. And each girl has 2 beds to a room, and this is the general gathering area. We have a piano on the side, and beautiful bay windows that overlook the topiary.
Forgive me, I should have offered tea. Would you either of you like some?
I would love some, thank you. And there was nobody present at the time?
No,
No
there was
witnesses?
one other worker.
But she said she didn't see him. I don't...
Oh, I don't know.
She said she didn't see him.
All I know is when I left the room, there were 2 of them in there, and then this happened.
I notice you have an awful lot of fairy tale books here. The Brothers Grimm. What's this, Red Riding Hood?
This is an institution of learning. Of course, we have the classics.
We have all the different color fairy books as well. And we have Hans Christian Andersen and all the ilk.
Hans
My
Christian
family loves
Andersen. His stories ended violently.
Yes, many stories do.
In fact, most fairy tales end violently.
Is that so? I know about the Little Mermaid. She commits suicide at the end.
Not in the Disney version. It's not what happens in the Disney version. It does happen in the original fairy tale.
Lucifer.
The woman commits suicide, that's true.
Lucifer.
She turns into sea foam.
Your name is Lucifer.
Yes.
Huh.
My parents had a sense of humor.
Man named Lucifer. Fairy tales on the wall. A twisted body the shape of a pretzel. That somehow fit into a dustbuster.
Yes, I was quite perplexed by that fact myself.
Maybe that's perhaps why the FBI is here.
Maybe that's perhaps why you should go talk to the local coroner who ruled the death an accident.
An accident? How does one accidentally get sucked up into a dust?
Why don't you ask him? If there's nothing else we can do for you, officer.
Have you ever had an infestation here of tooth fairies?
No, not tooth fairies, not an infestation of those, no!
Delilah.
But dust bunnies.
Stop it!
I'm simply haunted by dust.
Delilah, stop!
The place must
Delilah!
be kept clean!
In my haste, I put my tea on the edge of the table. Please. The least you could do is not... Oh, not damn it!
Please. Beware. Beware of the dirty
Delilah!
things. Beware of the dirt. Oh, my teeth.
Great, now that. Don't worry, agents. I'll be sure to tell the help to use a broom this time.
Well,
You know what my #1 fantasy was, Bailey, when I was a kid? I wanted to be a fairy. Zip around, my little wings flit from place to place, perch, just so I could listen in and see the world from a different perspective. Cause a little mischief, a little magic, you know? Zip, 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 hop. Sprinkle a little dust here and there.
Culver,
Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could manipulate the world like that? Make it bend to your will, do whatever you wanted with it.
somehow, I think there are enough strange things in the world that we don't need to add any of our own.
I suppose you're right.
I'd
What
like
do you
to
make
listen-
of those two?
I think they seem crazy, frankly.
What were you going to say? I didn't mean to interrupt. Just...
No, it's fine. They're unusual. They're stressed. She's terrified of dust bunnies. There's a lot more here that we don't know about.
The tooth fairy certainly struck a nerve. And the dust bunnies. And this coroner, I suppose that's who you wanted to go see?
Correct. I'd like to see for myself what happens when a body fits inside a dustbuster.
Do we have to?
You don't, but I do.
I'll come along. I just won't look.
As usual.
Your bed wasn't completely made today. I fixed it for you. before you went to class.
Thank you, Cassie.
No problem, Ginny.
I must have forgotten how to do it. I was so...
Yeah, well, you've been forgetting to clean a lot of things lately, Ginny.
I know. I was just so afraid when I found out that Oscar was pretzel-fied and stuffed in
I
the
wish
dust.
the girls wouldn't call it that. Pretzel-fied.
What would you call it?
Lights out, girls. It's after 10.
Of course.
Okay, Mr. Lucifer, thank you.
Please. You can call me Lucifer.
I really appreciate how informal he is.
Well, he's got to be careful about being informal.
Well, how do you mean?
I haven't slept for 9 days, Ginny.
What's wrong, Cassie? Why?
No, that's why. I hear that. Did you hear that?
I've been trying to ignore it.
You've been hearing it too?
Yes? It's so dusty!
Alright, where are you? I saw you the other night. You were just a little light, a little speck of light. Okay, now that's really, really scary. Oh my God! You found it again! I made my bed and I'm picking up all my clothes and I'm putting my books in a stack by alphabetical order and weight. What else do you want? Oh, I see that there's a spider web right there. I'll get it. I'll get it.
What are you doing, child? Child. Sit down.
There's a spider web.
Look
right
at this. Such a shame your roommate had to go back home. Isn't it? Such a dreadful shame.
It was sad how she had to go. How her parents came and took her away.
But she was keeping you up at night with her horrifying laughter, wasn't she?
It was terrible. Her laughter was so awful.
Now that she's gone, you'll sleep ever so soundly, won't you? Ever so soundly. Ever so soundly.
So now we have two bodies. One that's gone through a dustbuster and one that's gone through an air duct. This is Alaina Bailey, clocking in at 9:42 a.m., Wednesday, November 17th.
How did you ever get okay with this?
Well, you know, when I was a child, I also read fairy tales. Not the same ones that you did, but I read them. I read the originals, the gruesome ones, like I mentioned. My favorite was Hansel and Gretel. Did you know that in the original story, Gretel actually gets cooked up in the oven? I always thought that was so interesting, that a little girl really would get punished that hard for eating candy. I guess I like dead bodies, I don't know. But what's fascinating is that Hansel catches the witch with her own blood. I'm not making this up. As she's eating Gretel's body, she cuts her own lip. The blood drips, and Hansel notices that it's green. I am not making this up. He realizes she's a witch, and the only thing you can do to a witch is shove her into fire. So that's what he does. So Gretel's and the witches' bodies are burned together. 2 women burned up. Heart organ, 4 pounds.
Terrifying. Getting put in the oven just for eating some candy.
That's right. Well, the moral of the story is... I don't know what the moral is.
Just remind me never to steal your Snickers bar. You know what's interesting about these tales? These deaths of innocent victims, where these witches try to lure kids to their doom. This sort of ties in with the whole fairy thing. I don't know if you're aware of this, but every 1,000 years, it's rumored that this culture of fairies comes out of the darkness and shows itself to the world. Because every 1,000 years, their energy starts to fade. And if they want to continue on for the next millennia, hiding in the shadows, using their magic, turning people into pretzels, they need new fairy dust.
Culver?
New fairy dust that is ground up from the bones of the innocent. That's what dust is. That's what you should know if you've read all those grim tales. Those fairies like to sprinkle the remains
Culver.
of dead skeletons.
Culver. I have been waiting patiently for the reason why you have joined us on this trip. I don't like to ask sometimes because I think it's fun to wait. But I need to tell you, we have 2 bodies that have been sucked through tubes that are approximately 6 inches in length. The fact that I can even weigh some of these organs is unbelievable to me. I can also assure you, the bones are here. We've got somebody with a 6th sense of humor. Somebody who truly likes mangling the bodies of children. Now, if this is a serial killer of children, if this is somebody who wants vengeance, I don't know.
Well, first we start with a witch. The witch and the fairies are in league. The fairies, if they don't get their supply of dust, well, they'll go extinct. It's 1995. Only 5 more years till the next millennium. They need to recharge. They need to gather some supplies. This is just the beginning. Maybe the bones are here today, but maybe they won't be
Well,
tomorrow.
except...
Detectives, I just got a phone call from Oxford College. It turns out there's been another disappearance.
A 3rd?
I guess that's what the guy on the phone said.
Thank you. Let them know we'll be right over.
He's still on the phone if you want to talk to him.
We'll be right over.
All right, I'll be waiting outside.
Culver, I don't mean to back up your theory in any way, but both of these children, they each have a rib missing. That in no way backs up your theory.
But it is strange. Clean up, I'll see you outside.
Thank you for coming, agents. I'm afraid it's very, very troubling indeed. There's a student, a girl of ours, very troubled. You see, she told us that her roommate had become so upset that she went home, transferred back to her parents' house. That's what I call it when people go home. Well, that was the very same student who showed up in the air ducts when the janitors discovered her the next day. This roommate was then reassigned to another student. That self-same student also went missing and is the 3rd victim of this horrifying crime. I can only imagine that this poor girl, troubled as she is, must be connected in some way to all 3 disappearances. We've sequestered her away, assuming you would want to question her. Delilah's very upset, so much so that she is quite positively speechless.
I would love to talk to Delilah alone, if that's all right.
I prefer to be with you.
Do you mind, gentlemen?
Sounds good to me. Why don't you and I go have a little conversation in the foyer?
And shall I leave Moira locked up in her room?
No, we'll be right there.
All right then. She'll be quite perfectly safe, no doubt.
Are you going to be left alone?
Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Hugo.
You're shaking. Please have a seat.
I'm going to bring you Moira. This girl. But first, please you sit down. I can't. My nerves.
You've seemed very anxious both of the times that I've met you. More so than Lucifer.
It's because of the buildup of dust and...
Please explain what you mean.
Sometimes, when our household, in the history of Oxford College for well-behaved girls, when there's been a buildup of dust, there's been these horrible disappearances, and the last time it happened was when I was a little girl.
What happened?
All of my friends started to disappear.
Forgive me, I do need to ask the obvious question, and I don't know whether you know the answer to this. But why have you simply not cleaned up the buildup of dust?
You don't understand. It doesn't stay clean. It doesn't stay clean for more than a day, for more than an hour, sometimes for more than a minute. If we don't have 20 people, dustbusters at the ready, constantly dusting. Dust bunnies.
Dust bunnies.
This is the Yellow Fairy book.
You mentioned Tooth Fairy before. Am I going to find her in here?
No. But you'll find something called a changeling. Let me go fetch Moira.
Changeling. Of Scandinavian origin. A creature that appears as one thing, but is not actually that. Can alter appearance at will, voice, eyes, size. He's generally considered to be malicious.
Here, my dear. This is Agent Bailey.
Moira.
She prefers to be called Cassie. Her full name is Moira Cassandra Jacobson.
I'll call you whatever you like.
Don't be rude, dear. Sit down with the agent.
It's nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. I know this must be a hard time for you. Anything you can remember, anything that you saw can be helpful to us helping find your friends. Well, making sure more of your friends don't go missing. Well, making sure more of them don't die. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes we have to face the reality of the situation and not skirt around things.
Every morning I wake up and I wake my bed. Not my bed, I make it.
It's all right, dear. Go on.
I make my bed and then I dust off the Davenport, and then I make sure all my clothes are folded in my drawers, and then I go to class, and well, I guess my last best friend, she didn't make her bed quite right, so I would make it for her, and we were talking about it, and then I guess that's when Mr. L came in and said her parents were
That's
here.
the extent of the crowds. Forgive me for a moment.
And well, that's when she
That's
left
the
and I
quad.
didn't see her again.
The quad.
Yes, out there's the quad. Moira
But it was perfectly
was just telling
normal that
everyone
she
what she did. Moira was just about to tell everyone what she did to those poor students, wasn't she?
It was my fault.
Dreadfully sad.
I lied. She didn't actually go. No one came in to take her. I got really upset with her because I was tired of having to do her bed, and
It's all right, Moira. Everyone.
I have a knife under my bed, under the mattress. I stow it. I ripped open the mattress and I stuffed a knife in so that nobody would check it. Even if they lifted the bed up, they couldn't find it. I pulled the knife out and I stabbed it in her throat, and I ripped her throat open.
She's a victim of divorce of parents.
And then I put her in the care box because that's where you put dead bodies.
Dreadful things to a fragile psyche, divorce.
And then I did that to the other ones too. Especially Oscar Xavier.
Please see that she's well taken care of. Something wrong with your nose, Agent?
Oh my God.
Let me get you a tissue. Unless my handkerchief will suffice.
He was my best friend because he would come in and take care of my room and clean it for me, and I wouldn't have to clean it. But I got so mad at him one day because he missed a whole bunch of dust bunnies.
Delilah, why don't we leave the federal agents to their business?
I think I'm done. You've been through a lot. Go back to your room for now.
Are you gonna lock me up?
Not yet.
Are you out of your mind? She's just confessed to multiple homicides.
Not yet.
So I'm just to have her traipse about amidst the other
She said not yet!
Perhaps we should get some more tea. Oh, great.
Go ahead,
Chamomile. Maybe
You don't have to charge her, you could simply take her away. For the moment.
I'll
Wait
be
for me
in
to tell you
my
your
room.
job.
I have a new roommate that I like very much, and we're becoming fast friends.
Don't hurt your roommate.
I promise I won't. I really like this one. We have the same name even, and I think that's special.
Moira, is there any time you just can't account for? Like you were in one place and then all of a sudden you woke up and you were somewhere else?
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Well, when I was killing Oscar Xavier, when I walked in the room, I was standing by the door, and then a second later, I remember in my brain that he's below me and I'm stabbing him to death. And I don't know how I got over him, and I don't know how my knife got in my hand and how I stabbed him so many times.
Really? Stop this. I'm going to confine her to the punitive quarters. It's not as much of a dungeon as it sounds. It's merely a room where we keep troubled children. If you're not going to take this matter into the hands of the law where it belongs, then I shall have to discipline the child myself, or at least isolate it from the other students. What's wrong with you?
That man talks a lot. He talks just as much as Moira does. And I don't believe either of them.
Excuse me?
It's the fairies. The fairies did it.
Did you find any knife wounds and any scarring on those bones?
None. And I don't think an 8-year-old child could shove a body up into an air duct. She's been told a story to compare it.
So here's the thing. While you two were chatting, I was over here giving old Lucifer the bewitched nose.
The what?
Bewitched nose. You know the TV show Bewitched? Wiggle your nose. She's a witch.
Yes, I know
It's a
how
thing.
it works on TV, yes.
Only thing is, that's based on real facts.
Culver.
You should have seen his reaction.
What, he think you have allergies?
He covered up with that. But I could see in his eyes. Something's hiding. He knows. He knows witchcraft. The unaccounted for time. No scarring on the bones. Lucifer.
Listen, if there's one thing we can agree on, is that unaccounted time and Lucifer are connected. There are other ways in which a child can be manipulated.
Fairy dust. Sure. Magical spells.
I think we need to look into Lucifer.
Be my guest.
Hi, Moira.
Hey, Moira. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be snooping on your side of the room. You just have such pretty things and it's all
it's
so
okay.
clean.
Oh. Oh, I see you got the books out of order.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just reading your fairy tales. I really love this one.
Okay.
I promise to put them back. I'll put them back right now.
That was out of order! Oh my god!
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I think it's okay. Why is there dust again? There's dust all over the place again, Moira.
I'm sorry. I was cleaning when you're gone.
Oh no. We're in grave danger. Moira, come here. Come here, I'll fight you off. What's happening? Oh, that one. Oh my god. Why don't I have a knife? There's no hole in this bed. I'm gonna turn on the light. No, don't turn on the lights. Moira, what's going on? Girls, they're coming. They're coming. Girls, this is over. I'm scared.
Of course, Gorgeous. Come now. Fire drill. Fire drill. Let's evacuate. Fire drill. Fire drill. See here.
Moira, come now. It's time for you to go to the punitive quarters. What are you doing here?
You know what I'm doing, Lucifer.
Where's the girl?
Fire drill. They're all evacuated.
Delilah, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, Lucifer?
It'll all come tumbling down around our heads. Don't you see that? Everything a family's built.
I don't care about what my family built anymore. I care about my childhood friends who laughed at me from beyond the fairyland. And you think I don't know what you are. Green blood.
Someone will have to clean that up.
Here they come.
Yes.
There's no stopping them now, Lucifer.
I never wanted it to come to this, Delilah.
The fairy king. Maybe. This was the way it always had to be.
Maybe. Goodbye, dear wife. Goodbye.
A changeling can't stay in this world forever.
We'll see about that. Won't we? Is this the police? Yes, I'm afraid I have to turn to you as the federal agents have been of no help. Their negligence has resulted in another murder. This one, very close to me. And I'm afraid I don't know where the perpetrator has gone.
Haley, all right, listen. You go up, you try to find Lucifer. I want to have a look around this place. You keep him off my back. I want to see if I can sneak up into a couple of those dorms.
All right, well, the only thing I need to do is have that man start talking. That'll keep him occupied.
See what you think. See if you can draw something out.
What in particular do you want me to draw out, Culver?
I don't know. See if you cast a spell. Makes you a little magical move. Green blood, anything. I gotta go on a panty break.
First honest thing you said. I thought you could tell me a little bit more about the history of the college when it was founded.
I'm quite done speaking with you.
Well, unfortunately, the FBI is not done speaking with you.
Well, unfortunately, the local police department has received an official complaint about the FBI's behavior in this case. Behavior which has cost my wife her life.
I see, but we outrank the local police.
That tea you asked for.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You brought 2 cups, I see.
I brought the one you...
Yes, yes.
Oh, this is...
Forgive me, we're all a bit on edge here. Won't you join me for a cup of tea?
Be right back with another one. Hold on.
It's only a chip on the edge of the glass. Give it to me.
It was in the...
Give it to me!
Ow! I would not serve dirty tea.
Fine. Give me a fresh glass. Cut my finger. Anyway, as I was saying, I filed an official complaint with the local police department about your negligence in this case.
Wonderful. I'm sure they'll pass it along up to the top.
Yes, they'd better.
Are you quite all right? You seem to need a Band-Aid.
Yes,
Got
it's
you a
but
fresh one.
Thank you. It's but a nip. Won't you drink with me? As soon you'll be in prison.
You're dripping onto your cup.
Am I? What is it you're staring at?
Nothing.
Drink your tea. It's good, isn't it? Makes one drowsy, doesn't it, tea? Makes one want to take a long sleep.
Why are you doing this?
Doing what?
Why
Encouraging
are
you
these
to-
girls?
It takes a lot to appease the fairy gods.
Culver?
I have no interest in leaving this realm. I'd like to stay here.
Culver?
You'll not sleep well if you're running through the hallways.
Culver!
Find a settee or a couch.
Not as fast as you.
Moira, what's going on in this place? It's so creepy. God, do you hear this?
Yeah, I actually heard something that was kind of intelligible.
You're not supposed to be out of bed.
We know we're not.
Misbehaving girls. School for a week.
What are those things? Oh my god. I don't know, Moira, but this is what happens. They come towards us, and then they take us. I don't know what happens after that.
Do you know what misbehaving dirty girls get?
Let's go upstairs. This way.
Culver?
Oh, wait.
Culver?
Hey, you agent lady. We're being chased.
What?
What's wrong with you? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
You need to find...
Moira.
You need to find Culver.
That's the other one. All right.
I'll keep you safe.
I'll stay here with her. All right. You're my best friend ever. You're my best friend ever.
Tell Culver he had green
had green blood. Wake up! Wake up!
Here come the dirty thieves.
The dust bunnies, they're getting bigger. They're getting bigger. And they're
I know,
everywhere.
I just collected a few samples.
You collected.
I've been wandering around the halls.
The lady! She's this way, and she's really sick.
The lady?
Yeah, that lady.
You mean Bailey?
You sure?
Tea.
I think we're past the point of tea, don't you? Moira, why don't you run along? Run along, Moira! You see me now, don't you? Right on board.
You're looking a little unhealthy there, Lucifer.
I've never felt better.
Really?
Yes.
Never felt better.
It's finally nice to come face to face with someone who knows exactly what's going on. I know you do. It'll be nice to hear the last thing you say be to explain it all to me.
You're right, I do know exactly what's going on.
You know the cost of staying in this world for someone like me, don't you?
Yes.
You know sometimes it takes a little bit of blood.
Every 1,000 years you have to come crawling out of your hole. Use your fairies, your minions, your dust bunnies.
So you call them.
And I collect all those innocent bones for you. All those innocent bones. Right? Just so you can feast and stay alive for another 1,000 years.
Another 1,000 years!
Well, this time it's not gonna happen. I know that you're weak. I know you haven't gotten enough. Look at the dust that's collecting around here. They want their revenge. They're seeking their revenge on you.
My dust bunnies would never turn on me.
You've mistreated them.
I feed them the blood of children! What more could they ask for?
But not enough.
More blood!
Not enough. You started this place. You started this place to collect souls. But you're behind, aren't you?
More blood!
You're behind, Lucifer.
Well, now I'm one closer to my quota!
You should know that I'm not gonna work. I'm hardly innocent. I'll be distasteful.
You're right. You're right.
Come back here. Wait till I get my vacuum. Come on, wherever you want, Lucifer. You don't think you're gonna go away and hide for another millennium, do you? That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you.
Come, my children. Dust of skeletons past, ground from bones of ancient beings. Come to my aid now when I need you, children. Come to my aid now and vanquish my foes. Vanquish my foes!
Guess what I found, Lucifer? I found the fire safety equipment. I've got myself an axe. Like every good woodsman and every good fairy tale. And I'm coming for you. Get him! Bailey! Bailey, where are you? Bailey! Lucifer.
Should I just drop her? She can barely stand.
Gently. You know she's not going to do you any good.
Culver!
Now, I suppose if I were to drop her, you'd have to drop that axe and catch her, wouldn't you? Well, you wouldn't want her falling into this ravine, would you? That would be a mighty shame.
Culver!
You remember when I pointed out the quad and its central ravine? It would be a shame if she were to fall into it.
Culver!
She calls your name, Culver. She calls for you.
Billy!
Such a deep ravine!
That's gonna teach me never to take tea from an insane British person ever again. Named Lucifer.
Just like that. Everything was up in smoke. A quick puff. And it was gone. Like every fairy tale thrust back into reality.
I suppose fairy tales are in our world because we need a story to explain the things that we don't understand.
He had you in his arms. He dropped you. I grabbed you, and then the minute I touched you, everything... It's like everything came back into focus, Bailey.
Thanks for catching me.
But where did it all go? Lucifer, the college, the girls, just gone.
Guess you'll have to write the story on this one. Turn it into a Disney movie.